Ladies and gentlemen, we are here and we are ready to talk about some Forbidden Door. What a great show.
It was. It was very good.
I think it's the best pay-per-view AEW did in maybe a year and a half to 2 years.
Probably since the last Forbidden Door.
Yeah, maybe.
It's as good as we're going to get, I guess, right?
We're not going to talk about the pre-show. Nothing really.
They were good matches. They were serviceable for the pre-show. I can't
Yeah.
believe they squeezed 4 matches in an hour.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
WWE, that's how you're supposed to do it.
yeah, but we opened the show for a singles match for the AEW World Championship. You have MJF defeating Tanahashi by pinfall. Tanahashi looked slow.
He looked really slow, looked really old. He was showing it.
He looked slow the night before on Collision. He wrestled Swerve. And I mentioned to you when we were watching Forbidden Door that he looked slow. And it just, in the match, and I know the man's been wrestling for 20 years, but yikes.
But we say that about Tanahashi, but then later on in the night, we're going to talk about guys that are older than him that looked better,
Yeah.
which was kind of weird. But I thought that match was... It was more, to me, like it was more of name recognition of why that match was there.
And to make MJF even more of a heel.
Yes. And he is the best heel in the business.
Yes, he is. 100%.
The best in any company around.
Yep. I'm looking at Dynamite's card for tonight.
Nothing that screams...
Britt versus Ruby.
Yeah, that's about it. In my opinion.
You got Ishii versus Moxley.
Oh shit, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, no one cares about Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Sting Darby Allin.
No, there's something... We'll get to Jericho.
Yeah. Danny Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angela Parker versus Orange Cassidy, Keith Lee, and Vikingo, which is okay.
That's an interesting trio.
Yes.
We'll talk about a difference of
A
styles.
little bit of everything.
Yeah. I can't remember what was...
But yeah, the 15-minute match, MJF wins. Obviously, there's a ref bump. Obviously, the ring comes into play. Obviously.
When are we going to get rid of that move?
The ref bump?
No, the ring.
Oh.
The Dynamite Diamond Ring. When are we going to get rid of that?
When MJF enters next year's Royal Rumble. Yeah, it was good. It was a serviceable match.
Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah.
It got the crowd hot with MJF. You know, get everybody popped for Tanahashi and then saw how he worked. And
Yeah.
went, ooh.
Then we go into first round match for the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. CM Punk defeats Kojima. Fuck CM Punk.
Fuck CM Punk.
I love Punk as a wrestler. As a human being, I think he's a piece of shit. He's a piss baby that quit on AEW and only came back because they made a show just for him.
Who's more of a guy that politicked his way to the top? Hulk Hogan or CM Punk?
Hogan, because that was Royd era.
True.
Vince McMahon loves large, sweaty, steroided men era.
But you could kind of see the similarities a little bit.
The only thing about that era, though, is in 1983, Jimmy Snuka murdered Nancy Argentino.
God damn it, every time. I opened the door to that one.
I see where you're going with it. I think Punk's is not politicking, just more of it, him forcing, like, you get me or I'm going to walk away from wrestling again.
True.
At least this time, if he walks away from wrestling, he's not going to have an MMA career.
Oof. But, back to the point of the age thing. Kojima, older than Tanahashi.
Yeah, Kojima's 54.
Kojima looked good.
Kojima looked good for being 54.
Yeah.
Again, another serviceable match. I think the card, it was a great card from top to bottom, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think the first 2 matches, were the worst on the show, even though they were both still very good.
Yeah, I can kind of, yeah, there's a trios match towards the end that wasn't, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I can kind of agree with you. It was a very good start to the show. It got everybody rolling.
Yeah. Again, 14-minute match. Nothing long, nothing great. I mean, just perfect. Made you keep that crowd.
Serviceable.
Yeah, it's a serviceable match.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's just to get Punk and talk about Collision and
Yeah, that's to get Punk over.
yeah. Next one, 4-way match for the AEW International Championship. You had Orange Cassidy defeating Zack Sabre Jr., Shibata, and Daniel Garcia. Great match.
Up until we got to the double main event, that was match of the night.
Yeah.
I thought that was... Everybody got their shit in. Everybody looked good.
I think they do Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre at All In
Oh, baby.
in Wembley.
Oh, baby.
That'd be a really good match.
That's going to be really good.
I like Shibata. I like Daniel Garcia.
I'm not a huge fan of this sports... I see why they're doing the sports entertainment thing.
Yeah.
I see that. But when Garcia came out and wrestled and fought like he got before with Jericho, like
Yeah.
I like that. The whole dancing thing is kind of funny. Like when Sabre and Shibata were fighting and then he's trying to do his dance moves in the middle of it. Somebody said on Twitter, it's like when you hit the taunt button an extra time in the game.
Speaking of games, I want to go off topic here. AEW's video game looks like shit.
I don't care. I'm getting it.
It looks like shit to me.
I'm getting it. I don't care.
God bless you, but it looks like shit.
I'm getting it for the simple fact of it's something completely different.
That's true. Apparently you can do the Powers Unite thing from Dragon Ball Z with your tag partner.
Oh, hell yeah. You want to be my tag partner?
Yes.
You can ride the skateboard around the ring
I
and then
saw
up
that.
in the ring and then do a flip in the ring with the skateboard. I'm in. I don't even care. It's something different.
Yeah.
It's something
But again,
completely off.
I thought this 4-way match should have went on for a little longer. It only went for about 11 and a half minutes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it felt longer than that.
I really like Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. going against each other.
Yeah, I do too. I think Shibata was like the perfect. Okay, do I want to say difference in that because everybody had their own style?
Oh, yeah.
So I could watch Sabre and Shibata go at it. That would be interesting. That'd be kind of good.
Then we got Sonata defeats Jungle Boy Jack Perry. We'll talk about a little bit more about the afterfall of this match. Great match. I was really surprised on how well Jungle Boy, for being so young and being not green.
He handled
The Man
that.
Spotlight's title match is like so good. That
He
Four
is-
Pillars match was phenomenal.
Oh, that was so good.
This match was great.
You know there are people online that did not like that. They thought it was slow. And they thought Sonata looked bad. Like he didn't look like...
I think he looked completely fine. I
don't know what they were watching.
Yeah,
because
the match was great. Obviously, Sonata retains the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Jack Perry...
Turns heel after
Yeah.
the match on Hook.
Which we called it, but we didn't call
People
it.
were like, Hook's gonna... I saw... Okay, if you gave me 100 people, I think I saw about 95% saying Hook's gonna turn on Jack. It actually was the opposite, which I think is very good.
It would have made sense for Hook to turn because it's Hook, but Jack Perry turning on Hook makes it completely better, and we were even shocked.
I was shocked because here's my thing about Jungle Boy turning heel. I like it, but you can't have that storyline that he went on with months and months and months with Christian for him to be the face, and then a month later turn him heel.
Yeah.
I think it's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have Luchasaurus as the monster heel
Yeah.
now, and it's like, what was the point of all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really. If
But I'm going to give credit to, first off, the commentary team Sunday night, spot on. They did a great job.
yeah,
Taz, when Hook got his ass whooped by Jack Perry, Taz was perfect. Like, he was an announcer, then he became the father. And his tweet after the show that said, "You fucked up," was phenomenal. So I think they're going to bring back... I don't know if they're going to bring back Taz being Hook's manager, if they're going to do just Hook on his own, and have Taz be that father, be his father and just watch him or whatever. But I honestly believe that Jack Perry turning heel is a very good idea.
Oh, it's a very good idea.
Because I think they're going to have him come out and denounced the Jungle Boy name. He's just Jack Perry now.
Did you know his dad was Luke Perry of Beverly Hills 90210 fame?
Wow, the greatest Criminal Minds episode ever?
Yes, his father's Jason Alexander. Anywho, back to Forbidden Door. Then we get into Adam Page, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii. They beat Blackpool Combat Club of Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. Umino and Toshida. Oh my god.
Take a
shita, as I like to call him. I take that back. The man should be a star.
The man is going to be a star.
The man should be a star in the States and Japan, and he is
What happens if he's the guy to dethrone MJF?
No,
too early.
Too early.
Too early? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was a very good match.
It was not a complete spot fest, but it had some moments.
Yeah. I like the little story though with Eddie Kingston and Moxley and Castagnoli. I like that little storyline inside that bigger tag match, bigger story there.
I felt like Umino was very disregarded.
Yeah, he was.
Like he was just put in there just to be blocked.
Because they needed somebody else, and he has a history with Moxley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, count me in anything Adam Page does.
Yeah.
Also, Ishii getting the pin was very good.
Yeah, that happened.
Because it doesn't bury any of the Elite or doesn't bury any members of
Blackpool Combat.
Yeah.
And we saw that a couple of times tonight in these multi-man matches that the New Japan guys got the pins for their teams.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like...
I'm okay.
Like you said that. Like you said, it doesn't bury any of the AEW talent.
But at the same time, it makes the New Japan guys look strong.
Yes. I think the New Japan guys are strong anyway, but...
Yeah, but for the American audience...
the American
audience, that 80% of these people don't know
who
they are.
Very true.
There are times when I see these New Japan guys wrestle in the States, and then you have, the people that only watch WWE, you know what I mean? Kind of the pro-mark wrestlers go, who the fuck are these guys? They kind of act like MJF, New Japan's an indie. You know what I mean? It's nothing. Wrestle Kingdom is bigger than WrestleMania for
Absolutely.
the most part.
Hey, newsflash, pro WWE guys. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Good Brothers. There's a bunch of other guys that are in WWE now that were New Japan champions. So, and I'm not bashing WWE right now, but you get those marks that are like, oh, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And it's just
you don't understand that a lot of these guys, you go back to Tanahashi, you go back to Kojima.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. in New Japan, you know what I mean? Obviously, Sonata is one of the youngest IWGP World Heavyweight Champions ever. Mm-hmm. Umino, Ishii, these guys are New Japan legends, pretty much.
Absolutely.
They're legends of Japan.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple we didn't talk about yet, you know what I mean? Obviously, Ospreay and Omega and Naito and Okada. They are
Minoru Suzuki, everybody, those are the pillars, quote unquote, you could say, the New Japan building is being held up by a lot of pillars that will keep that company going, I think, for probably ever, because they got young talent they're breeding, and it's working well for them.
Yep.
They just need an American TV deal so we can watch them all the time.
Yeah, I heard it was coming sooner or later.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Obviously, we go into the women's match. Toni Storm defeats Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's World Championship. Obviously, Willow Nightingale is the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong champion.
That should have been Mercedes.
This match should have been... I love Willow. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I do
love
too.
Willow Nightingale.
I do too.
But this match should have been Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné.
Do you think that changes how they marketed that match?
100%.
But can you imagine the people that would have drawn to if that would have been Mercedes?
Oh,
baby. That match was... I was very enthralled in that match. I enjoyed that.
Oh, it was a good match. I would have liked, and I hate to say it, because you obviously the Outcast, you have Ruby Soho and Soraya with Tony Storm. I would have liked a little bit someone to come out and help Willow, like Sky Blue, someone like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you're letting the Outcast get away with shit. It's bad writing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of is, and it looks bad.
Yeah, like they get eliminated and they come back, and we see that in the Ospreay match too with Don Callis. But we'll get to that.
At the end of that match, when they showed the Outcast walking away with the title, you saw Sky Blue standing in the background, in the backstage.
Yeah.
Like, why not bring her out? Like, what's the, you know...
By the way, Slam Piano 2-0 Pirates.
Sweet.
Don't mind me, just tweeting.
I just thought that it was a very good match. It would have probably gotten a lot more eyes to it if it would have been Mercedes. But at the same time, people need to realize that Willow Nightingale is nothing to sneeze at. She is a very talented athlete. She's a very talented wrestler. Her mic skills might not be the greatest.
I don't care. She's a very good wrestler.
Yeah, so that's all that matters to 99% of us, is she can go in the ring, and she did, and she held her own with Tony Storm. I give them credit. So, where do they go with the women's division, though? Like, I feel like that's the most stagnant thing at AEW is the women's division.
Because obviously you have the top ones. You have Tony Storm, you have Saraya, you have Ruby Soho, you have Britt Baker. Other than that, ugh.
The issue with AEW's women's division is they have their talent, their women's talent is a lot of Japanese wrestling women.
Oh, give me
Riho.
Give me Rio.
Oh my god, I can see her and I just draw a blank. Ito. Emi Sakura, like they have the Japanese women talent pool there that if they could bring them to the States, it would be, and have them on a regular basis, I think that would be bringing in a lot more eyes to the AEW women's division.
You know what the worst thing AEW ever did and who they let walk? Freaking Maki Ito.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, she was tweeting after she went back to Japan, like, she literally had no friends. No one in that AEW locker room, like, took her under, not that she needed to take under her wing, but, yeah. I love Maki Ito.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
After Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, we have the match of the century. Definitely match of the year so far.
Oh, this I don't
match
think
of the show.
There's nothing that can beat this match of the year.
You have Will Ospreay defeating Kenny Omega to win the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship in a match that was near perfection to me.
I will not argue with that.
I have one little gripe.
Don Callis?
Yes.
Okay.
And him getting thrown out and then coming back with the screwdriver. I've never heard... We talk about pops a lot when we talk about wrestling. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have, like, Sammy beating... In the last year, Sammy beating Kevin... Or beating Roman with the chair at...
The Rumble.
That pop. The pop of Omega kicking out of the One-Winged Angel at 1... It was chef's kiss. The funny thing is, go on like TikTok or something like that, and people, it's so bad. Or people are like, oh, that was so stupid. What was the point of that? That was perfection. No one ever kicks out of that move.
No.
Alone the fact to do it on a 1 count.
Yeah. That's
what perfection.
That's what made it better. Was the storytelling of that match was phenomenal.
Yeah. You have the spots, you know what I mean? Omega laying over the top rope and then Ospreay doing the 450 onto him.
Jesus Christ.
The DDT onto the steel steps. The blood of Will Ospreay on the side of the steps for the rest of the night was great.
The spot of Kenny get his head slammed into the
Tiger Driver 9-1.
No, well, before that.
Oh.
Ew. When he gets his head slammed into the announce table.
Yeah.
That is the spot going back to Wrestle Kingdom, but it was so perfectly told.
Yeah.
Because they pulled stuff from Wrestle Kingdom to this match, and it just was absolute perfection. Tiger Driver 91 scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I thought Kenny was dead.
I thought Kenny broke his neck.
So did I.
I was watching a TikTok of they interviewed Daniel Bryan Danielson, I should say, after in the media scrum after Forbidden Door. And I forget who it was. I think it might have been Sean Ross asked them about that. Obviously, Bryan and his neck injury history, and he said that Omega and Ospreay being two of the most safest guys to wrestle currently, and AEW, apparently when they do these big spots, they go to their medical team, they go to the writers, they go to other wrestlers, you know what I mean? They go to their friends, they go to their family. Apparently these spot, and I guess that spot, Brian's like, I would never have done it.
Yeah.
But for them to do it was like, mwah.
Will Ospreay is an asshole outside the ring.
Yeah.
But inside the ring, complete and utter artist. He really is. I was a little bit shocked that Ospreay did win. A little bit. But then I thought about it. It's going to be they have to be building this up for Omega Ospreay 3. Well, technically 4 if you want to talk about it, but it's
the current run.
The current trilogy. It would be the finale in the current trilogy at Wembley Stadium at All In.
And Ospreay said he wants to do it.
Oh, you heard that interview too after?
Yeah, like he said he wants to skip out into Wembley, into a place who he said Bowie and Queen played. You know, I mean he wants to do it. And if you're Tony Khan,
I throw a blank check at Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
And I book it now.
Yep.
That match went a good 45 minutes?
Went 39 minutes and 45 seconds, bell to bell.
I was in love with every single
second of it.
I
have my big issue with Don Callis getting thrown out of ringside and then coming back.
I thought that was stupid.
They didn't need it.
No, it didn't need it at all.
No. It was perfection.
Could Ospreay would have won if... Technically, he did win clean, per se. But if the Don Callis stuff put aside, do you think Ospreay would have won like clean?
Yeah.
Okay. I just, I didn't, these weird things. And what was up with those stupid security guards standing there? I was waiting for them to get involved too.
Yeah, I don't get that either. But
they look like the Basham brothers from WWE.
Yeah. then we go on the cool-off match for a little bit. It's Sting, Darby Allin, and Naito defeat Jericho, Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki.
Can we call them by their real name?
I'm sorry, Suzuki
Gods.
I'm sorry.
I
watched a really fascinating TikTok last night on Naito on how he is the greatest anti-hero of wrestling.
He is. People love him, but he's not supposed to be loved.
Not supposed to be loved. You know what I mean? He spends all that time in Mexico.
Yes.
Then he comes back with Los Ignorables de Japan. They're not supposed to be good guys.
No.
And people are wondering why Naito comes down in a suit and everything. And then I laughed that it took him forever and Jericho got pissed. That was good storytelling. I loved it.
Naito is also the same guy who every time he wins the title, he always carries it to the ring and throws it in the ring. Like, I remember him taking the IWGP Intercontinental Championship and chucked it. Just was like, in this TikTok,
he's only won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship once.
Blows your mind, huh?
Yeah. He is, to me, he's more famous for the IWGP Intercontinental.
Yeah.
The match was fine. I think it killed the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, I think they kind of died.
I'm sorry. I love Sting, but the man doesn't need to be in the ring.
Doesn't need to be.
Even Jericho's getting up there.
Yeah, Jericho looked slow.
Do you just want to talk about the post?
The what?
The media scrums shit with Jericho.
Oh, we could. Let's talk about the table spot.
Oh, the table spot. Yeah.
When Sammy does that 630 into the table.
Sting was supposed to get off that table. Right?
He was.
Okay.
There was somebody. It may have been Sean Ross. I don't know, or it may have been Dave Meltzer. I don't know. But somebody said that Sting was supposed to get off the table and Sammy was supposed to go crashing through it. And that's why I think where it hit, like, it was slow anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that's where it hit, like, the breaking point where, like, they didn't know where to go next.
Yeah,
So
and
they
then
kinda rushed
Sting
it.
gets put through table, then he's up 30 seconds later. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good, guys.
Yeah.
Again, it killed, to me, it killed the crowd. Enjoyable, don't get me wrong. It was a good match, but obviously I know what you put in the picture for the podcast, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
You're doing...
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
There's no other picture better than that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there is, but...
Then we go into the main event. You have Bryan Danielson defeating Kushida Okada by submission.
By submission.
By submission.
Submission, people. Hello.
Danielson doing it with a fractured forearm.
It's bad.
It's very bad. I saw the X-ray.
Yeah.
I think Brie posted it.
Yeah, she did.
Brie mode. That match was phenomenal. People said it was slow, but you have to realize who's wrestling in this match.
Exactly.
Bryan Danielson and Okada, two of the most technical guys ever to get into that ring.
Yes.
First off, we got to talk about Bryan Danielson coming out to the final countdown. Apparently, it was a one.
That was a one-off.
It was a one-off.
Tony Khan said he paid way too much money for that song.
Yeah.
Because, for anyone that doesn't know, that was Danielson's theme in Ring of Honor. And people popped like it for crazy. They sang it the entire time when he came to the ring. And it was a one-off. They paid way too much money for that song. So that was it. We can enjoy that spot for eternity.
Yep. Obviously, Okada is Okada. He's the Rainmaker. My question is to you, and I raise this to you.
Okay.
What is the transfer fee from Young Bucks to Okada money?
I think Okada money's more.
Like, what's the transfer fee to the U.S. dollar? Like,
About
what is it?
69 cents on the dollar, something like that.
Nice. So, Okada and Danielson, two of the most technical wrestlers you will ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
Put on an absolute clinic
That
of
was
a
a
match.
that was a if you like technical wrestling, that was for you.
And a lot of the marks out there don't like technical wrestling, which sucks to me. I really think people have to realize that Okada is up there, maybe top 5 of current wrestlers.
Absolutely. And people will make comments that match was slow. But the thing is, if you go to New Japan, you go to even Forbidden Door last year when he was in the Fatal 4-Way. He can go along with other guys.
Oh, yeah.
For crying out loud, he wrestled Kenny Omega 4 times. And they were 4 of the greatest matches ever. A 60-minute draw in Japan at Dominion one year.
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt. Connor Bernard went to the Chicago Blackhawks.
No shit. You think?
Yep.
But it was a technical masterpiece. And by saying that, even though it was a technical masterpiece, Okada tapping out was the shocking part.
That was very shocking to me.
Because that match, you could have picked either one. It was a coin toss on who was going to win. But Okada tapping out to whatever spaghetti maneuver that was that Danielson put him in was insane.
It was great. It was perfect.
It was.
Overall, I give Forbidden Door 2 Electric Boogaloo a solid 8 out of 10.
It gets an 8.5 for me.
There's some moments like the 6-man trios match near the end I didn't like. The Don Callis interference.
It was the little things that take points away. You know, the little things of
the
interference.
Not every match needs a ref bump. It feels like every match has a ref bump in it.
Or some type of ref spot.
Yeah.
You know, the heel pulls the ref in front of them, but that gets the advantage.
Overall, a very, very solid show. I hope AEW keeps it up. I want Forbidden Door every single year. It should be.
It is.
Thank God.
For the foreseeable future, it will be a pay-per-view.
Thank God. But, anything else to say?
G1 Climax coming up.
Dude, that roster looks
Most of
unreal.
the guys from Forbidden Door are in the G1 Climax, so...
Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah.
But, great show.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Forbidden Door over. We'll see you next time. I don't know what we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe a little hockey preview coming up here soon.
Hockey, football, we'll get it.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy. Be safe.
Talk to you later.